Thank you, Jane, very much. I think the idea is we'll do two sets and a pause for conversation and buying books, and then Tim will probably quiz us a little bit, and then we'll have a second set. And yes. Okay, I wrote this in 1966. In Mexico City, packed in a taxi like luggage, uncomfortable like someone getting ready for Munich. How can I tell the driver I am not a gringo? I want to apologize for Vietnam, but not pay more than 5 pesos, or miss my bus, or dare those faces out of the starving tenements. But taking a sudden corner, I give the driver all my change and am no longer English nor American. I am the rain that beats my face. Okay, so I'll read another poem from very early on. I'm going to read 3 poems from my earliest days, and then I'm going to go right towards the end, towards decline and fall. But this one's called Bread and Stones, and I think I also wrote it in 66. I come into London with nothing to do and no money. I sit on a bench with 2 tramps. We smoke butt ends. One of them talks about the freedom of the individual, and the other about the lost glories of the British Empire. Sunset glories. The sun falls away like an old woodbine, but Battersea Power Station is still smoking. I like the freedom of the individual, my life to live, and the tramps hardly think of rifling my pockets, hardly surprising though I look the next morning as though I had come from a late-night party. My bow tie is crestfallen, and my blue suit wears its stains lightly like an empty wallet. I tell them I used to be a trombonist, but I'm out of work. Not true. I've been working busily through the night, my head full of skyscrapers, projects for the ideal city, an empire of the mind, where Plato is vastly entertained by Brigitte Bardot, and St. Francis loosens his girdle, and I have never played the trombone, and the tramps know it, though one of them says I would make an excellent panhandler. I'd like best, wait a minute, we would have dances on Saturdays in the main piazza and tell old jokes about old times. We remember St. Francis when he was just a wild broth of a boy before the birds got him. But it is morning and the cops are moving us on in London. They are the one surviving national monument. That's what happens to you when you lose an empire, and the tramps pretend not to know me. So much for freedom of the individual, and I move on, and my project is, to say the least, unfinished. Okay. And this after I came to Amsterdam, so it's sometime later, but I think I should put my specs on. I'm half blind. The finest housing department. The finest housing department. You are sitting at the desk of a housing official, and it is words she talks. She has the words. Her tone is one of sweetest reason, but the words, they seem to fade in air. She tells you she wishes she could help you, and her good intentions make you both feel good, and the way her tongue falls makes you feel helped already, and indeed you are helped to a cup of hot coffee as you sit there in your leaking boots and steaming anoraks. She is one of the new generation of functionaries, so different from the crabbed old pen scratchers of the tradition, you'd hardly imagine it was the same job they were both doing. She is one where you feel the menthol on her breath as she strides close to you to read your record on the computer screen. That flash of thigh you see in the slit of her gold belted short black dress. Did that get browned on Crete this summer? She certainly looks like she was off to slay some minotaur in the echoing halls of interconnected departments. In your mind, everything gets jumbled as though you had no walls between ideas. How kindly she tells you she cannot help you directly, but that she will be glad to give you a form to take to show to another department, and her accent falls on each syllable calmly, like a seagull landing on a frozen gracht. And the unfaltering play she makes of carefully selected sentences, coupled with the hissing damp outside and the airless comfort of that centrally heated office, sends you into a sort of pleasurable swoon. Only when you are back on the street, clasping a form and still homeless, does a certain basic despair set in that even the finest housing department could not cure, tinged as they are with those metaphysical askings that marvelously lend bureaucracy a symbolic function, as Franz Kafka knew, or as we used to sing at school, God moves in a mysterious way. Thin treble voices lifted in empty praise. So, have a look. Okay, here's a poem for Amsterdam as it was in the old days when you got ice and you got snow and you got an ice rain. Last time I think was 1997. Bicycle on ice. Got home late. Calvados in the tapas bar was to blame. It was drizzling ice, a cold mist those from the freezing waters of the Brouwersgracht, a gleaming skin of skid on humpbacked bridges. I saw a young woman on her bike swivel in a dazzling, unplanned figure of 8 from vertical to horizontal. Some rode to rescue her, not a wise move, so it proved. Bikes spread-eagled on a street of glass like a heap of the slain. Others, wavering in pure goodwill, did their best just standing still. Call me deserter if you like. I crawled back on hands and knees, dragging bike like a stubborn dog, clung to parapet with one hand, bike with the other almost wrapped around myself, but how to move when move meant slide, trying to push myself and bike at the same time forward. Alcohol was my wheels. Trepidation did the splits. Who knows how I made it home? Slept like a frozen doorstep, bike steaming in its shed, old nag stabled at last. And I don't know, this is very random how I'm reading, but I've just seen the unwelcome dinner. The unwelcome dinner. It was intended to have been a delicious dinner invitation, posh, in a hotel in The Hague, with alumni from my old university. 5 courses, 2 glasses of wine free, 75 euros. I could meet some people I would never normally see, book well in advance, send a letter to avoid disappointment, cancel with 2 days' notice or we'll have to charge you, otherwise you'll have to pay. I turned it over night and day, I'd booked. But was my heart really in it, this classy binge? Was it really me? At the last moment I didn't go, paid for not going, paid for no dinner. It was worth the price. Okay. Let's see, 2 more. 2 more, and I think I'll read something a bit more sober. Crawl space, this is totally the opposite. This is called crawl space. Under the floor of our living room is a crawl space, occupied by a few people gone underground in the last war. Most of the time, we are unaware of them. They don't need us for anything, but would they come out anyway? And if we lift the hatch, they're not there. Is it because no one told them the war has ended, or are they expecting a new one to break out? They are closer to us than yesterday. Little scuffling sounds late at night may be meant to warn us, to keep our ears and eyes open and watch what we say. Their almost heard voices are like hair rising along our spine. A war easily triggered is difficult to stop, or careless talk costs lives. Wise before the event, we tell ourselves to stay vigilant, not to relax. Our floor is their ceiling. And let's see if I can. Oh, okay. Wow. Okay. That's the problem. We've got too many together in one book. Okay, I'll finish with a romantic poem, The White Cockatoo. Many of you will have come across this white cockatoo, I think. So, in a central station in Amsterdam. The White Cockatoo. We're in the station restaurant in Amsterdam that looks out on platform 2. It's the scene of our first date. The white cockatoo is still there after 20 years on its perch by the bar, looking like a bird that's seen too much. We come here for the Art Nouveau interior and the romantic angst of a railway station grand café, hardly for the service, although that has a certain entertainment value. That first time our Maigret de Canard arrived cold after 45 minutes, as if they'd had to embalm it. Yet we hardly noticed the delay, holding hands across the table, and I thought, isn't this wonderful? But today, I'm looking out of the window while the train is just leaving, and it's as if the restaurant is pulling out, not the train, leaving the platform of certainties and a secure life. Just then, the cockatoo flaps on its perch and utters a cry like a guard's whistle, and I stand up and wave at the station we are leaving, and at past and future at once, and then I sit down again, and you give me that old-fashioned look I first saw 20 years ago. Okay. And a big hand for Jane too.
Thank you, Jane and Donald. That was lovely. We're going to have a little break now so that everyone can have a